Liz Crosby here with another yoga flow, and today we're going to do basically my core warm-up, what I do at the beginning of the day before I expand consciousness. And you want to have a really strong trunk, and you want to be able to conduct as much Kundalini energy through your central axis as possible, which does necessitate core. So of course, to develop a stronger central core, I've started implementing ankle weights. So if you want to, you can utilize ankle weights, and I would recommend starting with a small weight and then graduating, going up higher. And I also like to incorporate dumbbells. So yeah. Maybe try this class without the weights initially to start, or you can just really quickly swipe through it and see what it's all about, and then decide for yourself whether or not you want to add weights. Of course, with the weights, you're going to invoke your stabilizer muscles to engage that much more, and that will allow you to branch out from your central core, your trunk, with that much more certainty and confidence. And you know beyond all doubt that you have the strength to fortify and to protect the flexibility that you create in your practice. So this is a good flow to come back to if you feel like you're getting a little bit too loosey-goosey and you're creating too much flexibility and you need to create some strength to supplement that flexibility. Let's get flowing. And now let's start with some bridge dips. So I love to start with the bridge dips because it will massage the whole vertebral column. Again, if you'd like to add the dumbbells, feel free to take one in each arm. And then seal the outer edges of your feet down. Lift your inner arches up. Press down through the balls of the feet. Roll the spine up. Beginning with that pelvic tilt. If you want to, again, you can add some chest presses. Slowly lower back down again. And again, moving slow. This isn't about quick repetitions. This is about learning to really connect to your deep central core. We're warming up the hamstrings and the glutes. These are major team players in all that we do in the yoga practice. Again, as you work that spinal articulation, really connect to all the muscles surrounding the vertebral column. And then if you'd like more, to load up the hamstrings and the glutes, you can place the weights on top of your hip creases. And I like to just go until I feel that the muscles are nice and warmed up. And then when you've had enough, slowly roll the spine back down. Take a moment. Assess, process, acknowledge. And then when you're ready, taking the weights back up and overhead if you have them. This is a good place to start thinking about your handstands or your down dog, continually working the spiraling vortexual energy. Spiral the eyes and the elbows towards each other, plug humerus, hip bones into shoulder sockets. Push the weights away, just like you would push away the floor. And now draw your knees into your chest. You can almost pretend like you're in a crow pose here. Inhale as you extend the right leg. Exhale, drop back in. Inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, drop back in. Moving from side to side, alternating. Single leg extensions. And again, feel that chain link connection all the way through your central core. We are interested in developing an intelligent central core, not necessarily just those six-pack abs. pause for a moment. Extend the legs straight up. Now little hip lifts. Just engaging your deep lower abs and pelvic floor muscles to hoist the hips up. It's a small movement, but this is deep core muscle engagement. And then pause. Now float the shoulder girdle up off of the mat as you reach the weights towards your toes. Just reaching in that general direction. Beautiful. Now tuck the knees back in again. Both legs at the same time. Extend out as you inhale. Exhales to draw it back in. Inhales to extend. Exhales, draw it back in. Inhale. Exhale. And again, go nice and slow. Really connect. This is about creating continuity of energy flow through your central axis. Amazing. Now again, extend those legs up. This time, alternating, one arm reaches up, followed by the other. Really just asking our muscles to do work in different orientations with respect due to gravity, so that we can utilize the musculature in the way that it's meant to be utilized, to hold space in our sphere of existence, reorienting the skeletal structure. You start to see your body as all these pulleys and levers. And then coming back through the center, alternating, keeping the leg straight. So as the right leg lowers, bend and left elbow, reach your right arm up to reach and maybe touch your left foot. Lift and switch. Right arm bends, left hand reaches towards right foot. And switch. And switch. Moving from side to side. And pausing. Wherever you feel a good stretch, and you can actually utilize some of these breathing and rebonding forces to accentuate a stretch and to find yourself in better alignment. Working out any little kinks along the spine. Pause for a few moments and then release the weights. Hands slide underneath your seat now. You can actually turn this into a little bit of a wrist massage as you allow the bony part of your pelvic bowl to press into a desired space in your wrist. And you guessed it, now we're doing both. Inhale as the legs lower. Exhales to lift. Inhale to slowly lower. And exhales to lift. Lower. And lift. Slowly lower. And lift. Let's do one more. Lower. And lift. Whew. All right, so now we're going to extend the legs straight up towards the sky in a shoulder stand. That being said, make sure that you keep the gaze directly up to protect your cervical spine. You can wrap the elbows in, press down through the palms, engage your core, and when you're ready, lift. And slowly lower. Lift. slowly lower. This can also double as a spinal massage. Lift. Slowly lower. Lift. And slowly lower. Beautiful work. As you may have noticed, we've been gradually building up to more full-length exercises. So when you're ready, we're going to combine both exercises. Slowly lower all the way down initially to start. Sweep it up, shoulder stand. Yes, sometimes when your back makes contact with the mat, there may be some funny sounds. And then slowly lower. Laughing is also good for core work, as it also engages your deep core muscles, so can't get enough laughter into your practice. It may happen, just expect it. Sweaty back, rolling around on the mat. All right. Take a moment, rest. All right. So now that we've worked in one trajectory, we're going to work into the side. And this is optional. If you'd like to, you can utilize a weight. Left arm out to your left. Legs extend straight up. And then right away, extend that right arm. Moving into jackknife. So lift up, try to touch those feet. Inhales to extend and lower. Exhales to lift. Inhales to slowly lower. Exhale. Easiest to engage Uddiyana Bandha, so on the exertion part of the exercise. Inhales to slowly lower. Exhales to lift. Inhales to slowly lower. One more. Exhales to lift. And slowly lower back down. Again, take a moment. Process. Right arm extends out to the right. Shift your hips to the left. Left arm extends straight up. Lift it up. Jackknives. Inhale as you slowly lower to the right. Exhales to lift, maybe touch. Inhales to slowly lower. Exhales to lift. Inhales to slowly lower. Exhales to lift. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Gently release it back down. And it goes without saying, but all of these exercises really tune into your own body. If you're calling in more or less, meet yourself at your edge of strength creation. And now extending the arms straight up, just little tiny pulses. I absolutely love this exercise because it massages my ribs as they connect to the spinal column, which is so crucial. So often the ribs can get easily antagonized in our backbending practice. So here it's kind of pushing them back into place and also growing strength around the region of the body that helps serve to connect the ribs to the spinal column. And then rise it back up again into your seat. Cross the shins. Roll over onto your knees. All right. We won't need the dumbbells for a second. You can roll up the front of your mat. If you would like, you can roll up multiple times for extra cushion. Now, don't discredit these. These are extremely powerful, and of course, if you are diving deeper into your backbending practice, you'll want to strengthen all of these muscles to protect your sacral and your lumbar. So from tabletop pose, donkey kicks without further ado. Right leg lifts. And again, try to find stability through stabilizer muscle engagement. So the only thing that's moving is the leg, reducing the sway of the hips. And then straight out into our fire hydrant. So right leg out to the right. Deep breaths, fuel the fire. Just a few more. And then gently release, switching sides, right onto the left side, donkey kicks. And this is plenty with ankle weights. Of course, you can amp up the volume if you don't have ankle weights. You can also work straight leg variations. And out to the side. Amazing. And then gently release, take a moment. I love to utilize the heat as it's created. So when you're ready, roll your mat up on either side. They call it the taco shell. And then bring one knee onto one side, one knee onto the other. And slide it down. Frog pose. Nice deep ujjayi breaths. Breathe into that space. Maybe one foot points up towards the ceiling, followed by the other. A little bit of hip flossing here. Again, be sure to send the breath in as you open up space. Illuminate. And then when you're complete with your frog pose, walk the feet back together first. Press down to the big toe mounds, walk your hands in, and then slide the knees together again. Unroll your mat, either side. And now come forward into your Sphinx pose. So come to lie down onto your belly, and here we go. These exercises are absolutely quintessential for your backbending practice. And we may even add a couple backbends in, but of course we'll do the exercise first to create the integrity, the infrastructure, and the strength to fortify. So beginning with the right leg, float the right leg up and pulse. Again, here for a few breaths, just warming things up a little bit. And you know, I'm not really doing countdowns because I really want you to tune in and listen to your body and learning how to cultivate strength. So when you're ready, bend the knee and then just little pulses with the right knee up to heaven. And then when you feel that growth start to move in, and then almost like the muscles are getting fatigued, you're starting to get kind of annoyed with the exercise, then stop. You don't want to actually get annoyed with the exercise. Walk those hands in like a Sphinx, slide your left forearm to a 45, reach back with the right hand to catch your right foot, and press heel towards seat, utilizing a horseshoe grip. Deep breaths into the quadriceps, hip flexors. Maybe straighten through that left arm. And then you can kick the foot into the hand like a bow pose. Those of you that have an overhead grip, feel free to take it. You can also use a strap here. Gently release. And it feels comfortable, right? Amazing. Obviously going into these big expressions is very daunting if you don't have the heat and the strength to support that expansion. Onto the left side, float left foot up and pulse. Okay, here, just going as far as feels comfortable. All right, you are the sun. We are activating solar plexus. So you're just getting comfortable with shining the rays of the sun in all of these different trajectories. You don't want to burn yourself out. Bending in the left knee, little pulses, heel to heaven. Again, you want it to be a blissful burn. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's because most people do not find that balance. And so often we associate the workout with completely wrecking ourselves. And we want to actually build ourselves up and then gently release. Right form to a 45 in your Sphinx. Left hand reaches back. Press your left heel towards your seat. Maybe the heel comes down towards the ground. And this is half Bakasana. No, believe it or not, the foot will actually find a trap in front of the abdominal wall here. Now, maybe straightening through that right arm. You can work a bow pose, keep the foot into the hand. Notice the bow-like shape. And of course, those of you that want to take the flip grip. Gently release when you're complete. And then bending in both knees. You knew it was coming. And float both feet up. Heels to heaven. Lift those thighs up and off of the ground. You've got it. We love it. This is protecting our lower backs. Amazing work, yogis. Now, reach back, catch. Both feet. Option 2, if you'd like to work your flip grip, that is also an option. And gently release when you're complete. Well done. Good windshield wiper. Those feet side to side, which actually feels quite amazing with those ankle weights. Certain things just actually feel even more delicious with that added weight. All right. And then option 2, if you'd like, keep the knees bent. Float your chest up. Pausing here, hold. Nice. Now keep that engagement, action palms. Press up, lift up, maybe brush your hair like toes. Rise it back up into your tabletop pose and kind of move around. Take some cat-cows. Take some hip circles, shoulder circles, just a helix with the spine. Wiggle out any bits of stagnant energy that you broke up, dislodged, burned out. On tabletop, tuck toes, hips rise up and back into your downward facing dog pose. And you can walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. Allow the hips to shift from side to side. Beautiful. And then walking the hands back. Arrive in a forward fold at the back of the mat. You can grab opposite elbows, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Inhale as you peel the chest forward, find something dark to your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Ground down, lift up, both arms, sweep up. Exhale, the hands back in heart center. So by now, we've opened up the hips, we've opened up the heart space, and now we're going to prepare our bodies for moving into potentially handstand with the ankle weights. And in order to do that, we'll do a little bit of weightlifting from standing to warm up the upper half. So dumbbells back on the scene. You can take about hips distance apart with the feet, bend in the knees. Again, straight spine, core stays engaged. Rise up to stand with the weights in hand. A little tiny bend in the knees is fine to prevent from hyperextension. And as you engage your core, this is what we've been working up to, bicep curl to shoulder press. Bring the weights together, tricep dip. And then I love to allow for the hollow back to happen. This is the right side up, hollow back, right? Rise the weights back up. Lower back down through your shoulder press. Lower back down through your bicep curl. Bend in the knees against straight spine. Rise back up. Bicep curl to shoulder press. Weights together. So you're going from your straight up and down handstand into your hollow back. Core stays engaged. I know it seems like the ribs are flaring, but you're still engaging those muscles that draw the floating ribs together. Rise the weights. Lower through your shoulder press. Lower through your bicep curl. Back down to your squat. Let's do one more time for good measure. Press it up. Bicep curl. Shoulder press. Weights come together. And again, exercise your awareness of self, maintaining the balance between the strength and your flexibility. Receive the invitations to go deeper into your hollow back expression as they are given. Rise the weights back up and lower through your shoulder press, lower through your bicep curl, and set those weights off to the side. So now we've got the yoga mat set up next to the wall. I'm using a Dharma wheel. You can also use a chair and set the chair up next to the wall. It's nice if the chair has a little bit of cushion so that you can rest your head on something that's soft, right? The Dharma yoga wheel usually has a little bit of yoga mat surrounding it, so we have a nice point of contact. And we're gonna put all of it together now. So we've been working ourselves from the ground up. Remember, we've been starting with the hip dips to get the glutes and the hamstrings engaging. So we've been working our way up into the upper half. And this is like the finale. So if it's really okay if you're not moving into this space quite yet. It's something to aspire towards. That being said, turn to face the wall. I like to bring the space right at the brow where my hairline meets. It is exactly where I connect to the Dharma wheel. And it is kind of like a training wheel, especially if you have the ankle weights on. Maybe walk your hands back so you can drift more weight into the crown, or I should say brow. This way you can maintain your gaze at the mat. Arms straight, spiral the eyes, the elbows towards each other. Plug arms into shoulder sockets. Remember that spiraling vortexual energy we imprinted with the weights in our core work. Now press it up, lift it up. We already did splits, so you should have a nice open split to work with. Lower. Maybe tilt up and lift. Lower. And lift. And just get as many reps in as you can. Building that connection between the uppermost chakras and the lowermost chakras. Strong midsection. Right, it is all musculature surrounding the lumbar spine. And when you're complete, gently release, feet back down to ground. Now we'll move into the counterbalance, because that was strength creation, which is backbends. So this should feel like the reward for all of the hard work that you've been doing. And it should feel blissful, because all of the hard work that you've been doing has in fact strengthened all of the spaces that we're going to open up and release. So let's start moving into these delicious back bends. You can give yourself about 2 feet distance away from wall. Walk your hands up the wall, melt your heart towards wall for a puppy dog shape. Breathe into your thoracic spine. And then rise up, release. Now turn to face the center of the room. Reach both hands back and see if you can connect to the wall. Give yourself about an arm's distance away from the wall initially to start. Both hands reach back at the same time so that your lower spine doesn't get compressed on the other side. Again, core is engaged. We've been doing so much work today. Reach your arms back and connect. Push the wall away. Inhale to rise back up. Now, if you still want to take that deeper, you can take it all the way down into your full Urdhva and back up again. And this is such a nice exercise to do because it will train all of your deep core muscles so that you can eventually work your drop backs in the middle of the room with ease. Also nice to return back to the wall to really emphasize and build from the foundation these fundamentals. I love doing demos because it really will help me to be a better yogi as I navigate into my more creative and wild and expressive transitions. I have that energetic continuity that protects. So reaching back, walk it down. And it's okay if the hands don't come all the way to the ground. Maybe press your heart towards the wall. And then walk it back up again. We'll close up this session with a little Kundalini exercise. My favorite way to do this Kundalini exercise is seated on a block because it elevates the hips and I can ground down through my sit bones with more effectiveness. Even though I have a really deep Virasana, I love that connection between my sit bones and the block. It really sends that energy up the spine. You can also do this seated cross-legged. Cactus the arms. Inhales, twist to the left, exhales to the right. Again, find that Mula Bandha activation for pelvic floor. From navel to spine. Uddiyana Bandha connection. And tuck to and re-extend out the crown. Start to slow it back down. And pause for a few breaths. Notice the effects. Thank you for practicing with me today. That is my core flow that I do every day before I step out the door and do all the crazy things that I do with my body in space. So important to have that strong central core that you can branch off of safely. And also, again, continue to add more ankle weights, more weight to the ankle weights, bigger dumbbells as your strength permits. Again, we are energetic trees and we're growing in our capacity to hold space. And again, feel free to add extra reps or less reps as you like as you continue to use this video. And I'll probably do another one too in the future because of course, there's so many exercises. We are truly infinite. Thank you for practicing with me today. Hope you have a lovely day. Namaste.